Hey, Coram Deo. A few years ago, there was a book written about church called The Trellis and the Vine. And the premise of the book was really simple. The church is a trellis, and your relationship with Jesus is the vine. Your fellowship with Christ is the thing that a church exists to actually develop and help grow. And the church's job is just to build simple structures that allow your relationship with Jesus and my relationship with Jesus to actually thrive and bear fruit. If you've been around Coram Deo very long, you know that we have a really simple trellis. Our structures here are simple by design. We gather for worship on Sundays. We ask you to be in a gospel community. There are some other things we include like catechism classes and retreats and VBS and some simple events like that. But for the most part, if you've ever been in a church that has just tons of programs and activities, we are not that. And we're simple by design. But one of the things we have thought about in recent years is just how we can do a better job as disciples of Jesus as men and women. Each of us is gendered by God's design, and walking with Jesus as a man or as a woman has unique features to it. And so we do a men's retreat and a women's retreat, and we try to think about what does it mean to make disciples of men and of women. On the video with me today is my friend Nikki Jackson. She serves as our Assistant Director of Care and Counseling here at Coram Deo. She spends a lot of time counseling with and discipling women. She also oversees the bigger picture of just women's discipleship at Coram Deo. And so I asked if Nikki would just fill you in on what's coming down the pike this fall and this spring.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. I'm so honored and humbled to be stepping into this role, as I deeply believe that the equipping and edifying of women is an integral piece to the health of the local church. So I have a couple of announcements. If you have not heard of it yet or you're not registered, consider this your formal invitation to this year's retreat for our women. On October 4th and 5th, we'll be meeting in Nebraska City at the Lead Lodge, and we're just going to be spending a few days talking about what it means to redeem friendship. In this era of technology where communication is more accessible than ever, studies and research continue to show that loneliness is on the rise and friendship is on the decline. And yet we know Scripture tells us that we're called to live in community. We're called to bear one another's burdens. So we're going to spend a couple days looking into some of the cultural myths that we tend to believe, and then looking to Scripture to see how friendship with God and friendship with others is part of His greater redemptive plan in our lives. So please come and join us. There will be a link in this weekly update where you can register if you haven't yet. So the second announcement that I have is we are not going to be hosting a fall Bible study for women this year. We're taking the fall, use it kind of as a reset, and then we'll be back with an awesome teaching team and a great study for you in January. But if the Bible study in the fall is part of your regular rhythm, or you wanted it to be part of your regular rhythm, let this time not go to waste. Redeem it. Grab a friend, grab one of your kids, or just grab time alone with the Lord. Pick up a book that's been sitting on your shelf, or dig into that book of the Bible that you've wanted to study but just haven't had the opportunity to, and then we'll be excited to gather corporately come this January. And then the last thing I wanted to ask, it's not so much an announcement, is I just want to ask each of you to faithfully be praying for the women of our church. We have such an amazing group of women here. Be praying for their flourishing, for them to grow deeper in their understanding of who God is and what their role in His kingdom is. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another weekly update.